Welcome back to another episode of Melbourne Flyer. Today we are going to the Hovercraft Museum, which is located in Lee-on-the-Solent in the southwest of England. To get down to Lee-on-the-Solent, we took the bus from just over the road from our hotel, the Holiday Inn, Heathrow Bath Road, taking bus 423 to London's T5. And if you're just like us, you've just got off the plane, you haven't got a bus ticket yet, you can use any Visa or MasterCard to tap on to the bus. For this, we're using our Commonwealth Bank Visa travel cards. For the next part of our journey from London Heathrow Terminal 5, we decided to jump on the Heathrow Express, which will take us direct to Paddington Station. To organise all of our train tickets down to Lee-on-the-Solent today, we used the TrainPal app, which was recommended by Paul Lucas from his YouTube channel, Winging It. If you wanted to organise your tickets not using TrainPal for some reason, you can get a single from Paddington to London Heathrow or vice versa, which will cost you £25 for an express class and £32 for a business class. A return in express class will set you back £37 and a business first class will cost £55, with the return trip taking place within 1 month of the outbound trip. Heathrow Express trains depart every 15 minutes from London's Paddington Station between 5:10am and the last train at 11:25pm, with departures from Terminal 5 starting at 5:12am, with the last service departing 11:57pm from Terminal 5. All London-bound trains stop at Heathrow Central for Terminals 2 and 3 and terminate at London Paddington. Trains heading to Heathrow from Paddington Station will stop at Heathrow Central and terminate at Terminal 5. For Heathrow Terminal 4, get off at Heathrow Central and take the Elizabeth line to the terminal. The next part of our journey down to Lee-on-the-Solent saw us catching a Bakerloo line tube train from London Paddington Station to Waterloo Station. Trains operating on the Bakerloo line were built in 1972 and are still running to this day. The Bakerloo line is a total of 23.2 kilometres long, stopping at 25 different stations. The next and longest part of our trip down to the Hovercraft Museum today was on South Western Railways from Waterloo Station to Fairham. The trains we're travelling on today are a Class 450 and were built between 2002 and 2006. If you're like us and you're going to be using public transport to get to the Hovercraft Museum, you get to it via the Solent Ranger X5 bus, which runs between Gosport and Southampton, via the Richmond Road stop, which is only a 2-minute walk from the museum. This bus also stops at Fairham Station, which is where the National Rail connection is. The museum is only open Saturdays 10am to 4pm. Entry will set you back £8 for an adult, £5 for children, and family is £22, 2 adults and 3 children. As you enter, you get a great view of the Princess Anne. The first part of the Hovercraft Museum shows a bunch of different types, including some early iterations of the hovercraft, as well as a hovercraft that I believe was featured in an episode of Junkyard Wars. If you know, let us know down in the comments. I'd love to know which season and episode. You can tell from the photos here, it looks like it is Junkyard Wars. And then they've got this awesome model of a Canadian Coast Guard hovercraft. Such attention to detail. During our visit to the Hovercraft Museum, we noticed that the volunteers work so hard to restore these pieces. They do such a great job, and I would imagine it's not easy to get your hands on parts for hovercraft, considering they're not in mass production anymore. The museum snakes its way around in a one-way configuration. That way you see everything without missing a single bit. Just outside the indoor pavilion is this lovely BH-7 or Wellington class hovercraft, which was designed for military use. Built by the British Hovercraft Corporation. It first flew in 1969, was used in many trials with the Royal Navy and part of the Inter-Service Hovercraft Trials Units. During its 13 years with the Royal Navy, it was evaluated for many different roles, including anti-submarine warfare and mine countermeasures. Most notably, this BH-7 successfully completed a round trip to the Arctic Circle, leaving from Lee-on-the-Solent while it was with the Royal Navy. This particular hovercraft was donated to the Hovercraft Museum by Westlands in 1989. The jewel in the crown that is the Hovercraft Museum has totally got to be the SRN-4, also known as the Princess Anne. This was the largest ever commercially built hovercraft used, and it served for 33 years as a fast cross-channel ferry between Dover in the UK and Calais in France. After the Mark III upgrades to the hovercraft in 1976, becoming the Super 4, she was able to carry 60 cars and 400 plus passengers. To this day, the Princess Anne holds the Guinness World Record for the fastest car carrying commercial channel crossing at an impressive time of 22 minutes, which was set in September of 1993. Regular crossings of the channel were usually about 35 minutes with an average speed of 65 knots. Measuring 54 metres in length, the craft was powered by 4 Rolls-Royce Proteus gas turbine engines, developing 3,400 horsepower each. The Princess Anne was set up with a 2-class configuration for the passengers, being regular class up the front and Premier class down the back of the craft. As you can see, the seats looked very comfortable, and I'm sure for the 35-minute trip across the channel from Dover to Calais, this was the way to do it in style. And as you can see, those travelling in Premier class had a full bar on board. I believe that the drinks in here are now for private events that are held at the Hovercraft Museum and on board the Princess Anne. The large vehicle deck of the Princess Anne, as seen here, has a whole range of smaller, generally single-person hovercraft for you to have a look over, see how the hovercraft has evolved over time, and see all the different interesting designs that hovercraft designers have come up with. this outdoor area of the museum, there are a number of hovercraft ranging from military to civilian, different sizes, shapes, colours, you name it, they all served a purpose in their lifetime. Hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, please smash that like button. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do it now. Hit the bell for notifications. Inside the second indoor pavilion of the Hovercraft Museum, again a number of different sized hovercraft and everything, some including from James Bond movies. So if you happen to be in the south of England looking for something to do, want to check out a great transport museum, head on down to the Hovercraft Museum, Lee-on-Solent. As I said, open Saturdays only, 10 AM to 4 PM. Don't forget to check out their website as well, hovercraft-museum.org. All the information about the museum is on their website. Admission prices are listed as well as the hours. I hope you enjoyed our visit to the Hovercraft Museum. If you haven't yet liked and subscribed, please do it now. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.